our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas and have wonderful guests. And my wonderful guest today is Eddie BenAbraham, who has a website and has done some wonderful things that are very helpful for people. And also has messages from the founder Wales. But let's start with your introduction, Eddie. Why don't you tell us about yourself? The question I used to always hate when you'd go into an interview, but I'm going to throw it your way. Tell us what you do and how you got started and all that.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you for having me, sweet. It's a pleasure coming back again.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you. I am a spiritual teacher. I teach, I channel, healing facilitator, inventor, presenter, and an author. We recently launched our first book, and another book is coming out next week. And we said today we're going to give some free books to anyone who's going to be taking a session with Eddie.
Well, let's hope people do, Eddie. I think you have testimonials on your website, don't you? Of people that have seen you.
Yeah, the book is on Amazon, Love Warriors. Lead author is Laura DeFranco. And there's additional 19 great writers, authors there. And we made it to the top seller on Amazon in the first 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And yeah.
That's
very,
awesome.
Very, very powerful book. And Mindset Mastery is coming in next week on the 23rd. And also another great book. Amazing people are joining this, also led by Laura DeFranco. And I look forward to the transformation that people are going to experience through these two books.
Tell us a little bit about the books. What can people expect from them? How do they help? Or you provide guidelines, or what is it?
Love Warriors is a combination of 19 authors. They're all experts in their fields. Each one of us have brought our life story, and the life story is connected to the advice and the assistance that we also offer in that chapter. So there is a very personal value to look into what the experiences and the wisdom from each of the authors, these experts. And so far we had great success. A lot of people are coming back with tears in their eyes. And so I encourage you guys to hop on Amazon. We have the link down below as well. And have a look, and welcome to order the book yourself or come on board for a session with me, and you'll get the book for free, the Kindle version.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
With so many different authors, there's a lot of different perspectives on different methods of helping people to raise their consciousness or awareness. Is that basically what the plan is?
Yes, indeed it is. Each one comes in with their own flavor and their own experience that has been part of their practice. They all work with people and they've assisted many. And so the value of this information and the teachings in this book provides an additional an additional layer compared to if you get a book by one author.
Mhm.
And it's all about love.
Is this romantic love or love of
Um,
people in general?
there are some stories that do talk about, there's some aspect to it, but it's not necessarily a romantic love. It's more about
And
opening your heart.
okay,
It's
that's what I
self-love.
thought. I thought that I'd
Definitely
bring that
self-love.
forward. Yeah.
Self-love is the key. Self-love is the foundation, is the oven, as you call
Mhm.
it, that provides us with um, the critical aspects and the tools in order to have relationships, first with yourself and then with others. If it's your partner, your children, your parents, your grandchildren,
Mhm.
friends, family, and so on.
Okay. And does it promote unity consciousness as well?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, I
Yeah.
would think so.
Mhm.
And that's what is your website? It's Vortex 8X.
Vortex, you pronounce it
Vortex.
vortex. It does have an 8 instead of the E.
Uh-huh.
So VORT8X.com.
All right. And that's where they will find information about your
Yes.
books. Yes.
There's the information about the books, the course, um, six months course, Love Mastery. It is
All right.
it's a master course about self love and beyond. Self love is something that has been exponentially growing in our awareness in the last 30 years or more, and now we're getting to a stage where it's common knowledge, even the children, and there's something beyond it. Self love is one stage, as I see it,
Mhm.
and there's more. So getting you ready for what's next is important as well, because, and again, self love is a journey of life. It's not something you end at a particular date. You begin with the first breath until the last breath, and then when you come back again, you continue it again.
Mhm.
It's a constant growth.
And how important is breath? Do you talk about that a lot or much?
So there is the breath is very, very important because breath is connected to water, and
Mhm.
the whales have talked about it. In the book, I'm chapter 2. So when you read the chapter 2 and you get to the end of it, there's a practice. And in that practice, we do utilize breath, where we connect to the soul's mantra grid. And that is the subject of our video today, the main subject.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you want to play that soon, or did you want to talk some more first? Or
I have to warm you guys up because it's a heavy subject.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you have any
bring it
questions?
on. Bring it on.
Anybody has questions so far?
I don't see any questions. It doesn't appear we have a whole lot of people in the chat just yet. I can't post it. Okay, I don't. Yeah. Nope, we don't have any questions at this point. If there's anyone in the chat and you have any questions, please feel free to ask them because now's your chance. And
Very cool. All right.
okay.
Okay, so our main subject today is the soul's mantra grid. And we titled the video "The Lost Secret of the Soul," and the reason is because it has been lost for a long time. And there is some esoteric information that's related to it in different sources, esoteric sources like the Kabbalah, the Zohar, and Asian um, um, secret texts that comes in from that area. But essentially, there is something greater that we are in the time to become aware of and start utilizing it and working through it to expand our consciousness, awareness, and assist with our evolutionary process as we are at this pinnacle point and this critical point in our evolution.
It's quite a time to be alive, I would say. I do have a question.
Yeah.
We can grab it while it's still there. It says why. Well, this is why are birds dropping out of the sky and whales beaching themselves? Yeah. I don't know if it's related to our topic.
I'll address the whales. Birds is a complex. It goes into a different area criteria because it goes into 5G, and we believe that was the case. Why they're falling, they're dropping. As far as the whales, because the magnetics and the gravity of the planet is shifting, and it's been doing so in the last 30 since 1989. And you can follow that information through Cryon, Kryon, that's channeled through Lee Carroll. He's been talking about it for many, many years.
Yeah.
And so, to simply put, since the gravity of the planet is shifting and the whales are aware that they have a particular path to follow from one side to the other when they migrate, once the gravity shifts a little bit, it confuses them. And so they beach themselves. They think they are going in the right way, where in fact they're not going in the right way. Now, the man-made anomalies also are causing that as well.
Where was it? Oh, this one. I had it up there and it went. At the coastal area, we just had thousands of starfish beached. Wow. I haven't heard that one. That's
new for me too.
Yeah. There's another comment. I like to include people's comments, and that is that why isn't the chat is not moving? Doesn't seem to be acting correctly. But anyway, black glue in the air, water, fog, ice now taking our breath away, chest pains, headaches, St. Lawrence making sounds, reports former MIC. Anyway, lots happening on the planet, and people are really wondering. Wondering what the heck's going on. And if people haven't been trying to be aware in some capacity, it's probably rather frightening. But it doesn't need to be, because all kinds of good things are coming forward. Right?
Well, I'll touch some of the subjects that can actually, we'll get to the part of the whales at the end. They have a message that I've been talking about in the last few months, actually more than a year. And it basically gives us an overview why we're going through what we're going through right now. It has a different aspect to it, a different understanding, and it's not being talked about a lot. And so this is going to offer a lot of comfort, a lot of understanding. You can take a deep breath and say, okay, we understand. So let's... Want to talk about it now or after?
Sure. Well, either that, or if we could continue with the soul mantle grid that you were talking about, and then we can move to the other.
So we have systems. We have systems that are here to support us. For example, Earth is a system. And the Earth has subsystems like the wind, the water, and gravity. Time is a system. Reincarnation is a system. Astrology is a system. Our body is a system. Within our body, there's different systems. Now, there's one particular system that has been hidden from us for a very long time. It's called the soul's mantle grid. What is it? So, when the soul decides to incarnate and step into the body, to be birthed into the body, there is a system that is designed to meld the soul piece into the physical form. So in essence, it is a projection. It is a form of marriage between the physical body and the astral self, the soul piece. The soul's mantle grid is huge. And within the soul's mantle grid, there are particular ingredients that we're already aware of. I'll give you an example. The chakras are there. The Merkaba is there. The so-called Taurus is there. And many more. So these are some of the things that we're already aware of. And they're part of who we are. It is part of the mechanism, part of the system that is designed to bringing the soul into the body. Each and every one of you have it. You cannot be here without it. And this is basically the premise of what the soul matter grid is. It is a system that is designed to meld the soul piece into the body. Now, when I say it's big, it's very big. Ready? It's about the size of a football field. Yeah,
Whoa, that's
it's that
big.
big. That's huge.
That's our soul's mental grid. That's what you're saying?
That's it. Yes, it's very
Oh,
big.
wow.
It's a sphere. It's a big, big sphere that's around us, and it's with us wherever we go because the soul is in the body. So wherever your body goes, this goes with you. So think of us as a
Bubble?
big balls of light, and they're bigger than anybody has ever thought that we are in that size because we're much bigger than what anybody has ever told you.
Does that that's interesting. That way we would be that our is that like our aura, or is that
Yeah,
beyond
it's part
aura?
of it. It's part of it. So it's part of the aura. Remember that the closer we are from that aspect of looking at it, when you observe it, the closer you are to the physical body, things are more dense. So we're able to see things. So we're able to feel and understand what the chakras are. Because the chakras are and within us, some people can see them. Some people can see the aura. Some people can see the Merkabas. Some people can see the Taurus. The aura, everything else. Aura is a magnetic field is a resonance of your state of being based on your DNA, what status your DNA is at that particular point, because of your state of being. That's why it shifts all the time. And so the Merkabas themselves, for example, there's 3 layers of Merkaba. There's one that spins clockwise, counterclockwise, and one that is static. And there's another set of Merkabas. This is where stepping into now this area where things we're not aware of. And I'm sharing this with you. It is the information that I've channeled and received since 2007, 2006. So it took me many, many years to understand and decipher what this is all about. At first, everything was grayish. They started showing me some structures and shapes that I didn't understand what they were showing me. But then slowly, the entire process, the entire system has been revealed. Now it hasn't revealed fully for me to see, but to be aware of, yes, because the ingredients and what each does is being explained, and I'm still working on it. So it's still a work in progress. And to say that this is something that we never knew about is not true. We knew about this before. We're just remembering this again. And again, the key and the reason for us to remember this so that we understand how powerful we are, how magnificent we are, how important we are, and that we have the capacity, the ability, and the means, the tools to step into something greater than what we are right now. And this is in process. Okay. Want to share the video?
Sure. That
So
would be
we have an animation. Now the animation has no sound, and there's a reason for it. What you're going to see is basically a very simplistic version or way to describe the soul's mental grid. And it will start with the body, with the chakras, and then it will expand outside from it. Take your
wow.
time. Yeah, no rush.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the screen, and then I'm going to take us off so it covers the whole screen, so it'll be bigger,
Okay.
and then I'll bring us back on.
No problem.
Okay. So I don't know if I should take us off first, or let me figure this out here. Okay, there's one.
the Akashic records.
That is
And
amazing. That's beautiful.
pretty cool, huh?
I don't think they heard you because I had to bring it off of the page. So if you start to say something, why don't you say it again?
What was the last thing you heard?
Something was I'm not sure. I lost it already. Anyway, but I heard the end of something that you were saying.
Okay, I'll repeat myself. So essentially, once did you hear me while the video was running? You heard me saying,
no.
oh, nothing?
No.
Okay. So what you saw in the video was the chakras. It was a very simplistic way of showing what this whole system is about. You had the chakras, and then we move backwards was more we saw the Merkabas, the first set of Merkabas, which is 3 layers, and then the Taurus, and then we stepped into something brand new that is that's part. Actually, it's the first thing they ever showed me. It's the secondary Merkabas, and there are 6 layers to them. They're all occupying the same space, and they're spinning in different directions and different speeds. And they're in charge of timelines, potentials.
Oh, wow.
The rest set of Merkabas are in charge of the physical body and additional stuff. Now, there's some really cool. What's that? Go ahead.
It was beautiful. I mean, it was so awesome looking.
Cool. Want to play it again?
Yeah, why don't we? I'll have to wait a minute.
Okay, I'll continue talking until it comes up. So,
Okay.
and then when we move even further, you start seeing the spherical shape of the soul's mental grid. It's not necessarily a boundary, but it is what the soul's mental grid looks like when you actually start to connect to it and start visually to see it. Because my work is designed to bring into this awareness that you work through the soul's mental grid. And when you do, you're able to create your reality easier. You're able to heal yourself and heal others. There's a healing modality. It's called the entourage healing modality that comes with it. It's very powerful, and it's very quick. And
I'm almost there.
No problem. Take your time. When you get to the very last frame, you can see the upper and bottom funnel. These 2 funnels stretch out to source, to the center, the central sun, and the bottom one goes directly to the core, the planet. And one more thing that I want to point out with regards to this to the first set of Merkabas. So at some point they shared that there are 17,000 codes. 17,000 codes that we will eventually learn how to utilize. None in this lifetime, though. There's only a few codes that we'll start to learn and master through the Merkaba, through the first Merkaba.
I'm having problems finding it again, Eddie. I don't know why.
Don't worry about it. When you come into my website, you go into the course page, and I have it on that page as well. You can see it easily.
Okay, my computer is acting really slow, and I was trying to look for it, and I'm not finding
Don't worry about
it. But it was beautiful, and it was awesome. And each one of us,
everyone, you have it. Your family has it. Every human, everyone that has a soul piece has this. Now, animals has a little bit something different. It's not the same. I haven't put any much time to work on that yet, because there's a lot of work to be done with this first. But essentially, this takes us to another. Cryon has talked about this years ago, and he talked about, we at some point we're going to have a way to look into the space and identify life. We'll be able to see life on other planets just by viewing a particular type of energy. And I think this is what they were talking about, because this is something that you can see from far away, because it has a particular energy signature. This is like Star Trek, Scotty, can you pick up some life forms on the planet? And they can do it based on the energy factor. And so this is part of it, especially when you see it far away.
By the way, I found it now, so we can play it again. After
Okay.
you explained it, it probably would be helpful. Maybe people will see it in a different light. So let's try it again.
All right, go for it.
It's short and quick. So, I guess we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Oh,
I left
right.
us in there
Okay, cool.
so you can talk. Yeah.
So essentially, here we are again. You see the torus, and within it, your body and your first layers of Merkabas, and then the second layers of Merkabas are coming in. And as I said, these are 6 layers. And now we're going to move backwards a little bit. And notice very faintly, you can see the flower of life everywhere, which is essentially something that you can literally see it anytime you want.
That's like it's within the bubble.
Yeah, very, very vividly you can see this the flower of life. It's actually, in reality, it's much, much smaller when you look at it, when it comes into your peer view.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like when you stand in front of a screen door.
Mm-hmm.
You bring your face very close to the screen itself, and you can see these little squares. That's
Yeah.
about the size you see the flower of life. That's the size.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Wow.
very condensed, and it's very fine, and it's very in your face.
So was it some of the authors that actually had the ability to see some of them?
I'm actually the only one that I know that talks about this.
Yeah, I haven't heard it anywhere else.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful gift to know about.
Now it's a gift for everyone.
Yes.
This is something that's it's available for everyone, and now is the time for us to share it, because the bad guys cannot do anything anymore. This is our time to thrive, to step into the golden age.
Yes, it's so much is happening. People find it hard to believe that we're going into a golden age, but we are.
No, we are definitely. Yeah, it's coming.
Yes.
It's coming.
And
It'll be challenging, especially this year. But
this year, everybody's going to find out a lot of things that
this is
going
going
to
to
be a little hard to swallow.
Yeah.
Shall we put it that way?
Yeah. Totally.
I noticed one of the things that you were talking about in one of the books. I don't know where it was or whatever, but I thought it might be a kind of a fun topic to talk about a little bit. And that was a section on mastering your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people have quite a time with that. Especially I've heard people say, they have a lot of negative thoughts, or they have negative and sometimes it's so negative you don't even realize, or you're so habitual, let me put it that way, that you don't even realize it. And it's, you're actually telling yourself things that you really don't want to be focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that's the subject of the second book that's coming up next week.
Oh, the second book. Okay.
Mindset Mastery. Where you're right. I agree with you 100%. And it is a challenging aspect. And bear in mind, we're still learning, and we're always going to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, I was just wondering, do people pick up thoughts from the collective that aren't even theirs, that sometimes they process and think are theirs?
It's possible, yes. It's there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's primarily energy, and it translates into a thought. And if the person is sensitive enough, they can pick up on the thoughts themselves as well. So if you're in a room or you have a neighbor that's, they're going through tough times, you're going to feel it. What exactly they're thinking about, that's a different story. But then again, from another aspect, when a particular subject or a matter is being thrown into the field, the field is something that binds us all, just like the Force in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you think of something, it's there. You're the consciousness, you're the creator, you brought it into the field. And so now if you continue thinking about it, there's a great chance that someone else is going to start picking it up. And then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And then so this is an exponential and gradual and process that one idea, one concept, one thing can become a global thing. But it
Wow.
does take a lot of intent. It does take sometimes either fear or love, whichever way. Each one is an energy mover, energy pusher.
And we've been residing in the energy of fear for the longest time. And
Mhm.
we want to, as a group and collective, is to move into the love frequency
Yes. Mhm.
instead. And then we can manifest as well. I've got to come up. So
Yeah, go for it.
let's see. Well, wait a minute. Here's one. Oh, who's ever covering up our sun? It needs to be stopped. I would agree, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I don't know who's covering it, but go ahead.
I think there's been different things said about it. It's kind of crazy.
What do I mean by
What
codes?
does he
Okay.
mean?
So codes. So the Merkaba is an engine. It's part of the system of the soul's mental grid. And what it's designed to do is to implement particular coding systems into the physical body, into your DNA. And this is basically how you operate. When you live your life, the Merkabas are constantly working. They are working through particular codes. So there are some codes, many codes actually, that are beyond what we consider to be normal. They're actually supernatural. So
Supernatural codes?
supernatural, they give us what we call supernatural abilities.
Okay, okay. Oh, that's
Now,
interesting because you're not the only one saying that right now. And people, that coming forward, people don't know the wonderful
now
things that they're
let's
in
take
for.
this from the top, okay?
Okay.
And I'll explain what I'm talking about. The very, very top and very, very important top. And I'm talking about responsibility.
Okay.
We must have responsibility before we can take on any gift. Now, the level of responsibility is exponential to the value of the actual gift. And I'll give you an example, a very simple example. Let's just take, for example, a one supernatural gift, and that is telekinesis. Let's say you, Gaia, Gail Gaia, you have the power to move things with your mind. Okay? Let's just
Okay.
think about, okay? You have that power,
Okay.
but you're not utilizing it yet because of one thing, responsibility. Now, what if you wake up in the morning, you're very angry for whatever reason, or somebody upsets you? You get upset for whatever reason.
Hmm.
You could be very dangerous.
That's true.
Yeah, you can kill a person right then and there. You can do something to the internal organs because you just got upset. This is what the type of responsibility I'm referring to. Okay?
Okay.
So the responsibility is much, much greater than the value of the actual gift. Telekinesis has a value, but the responsibility to carry that gift is much, much higher.
Oh, for sure. And that,
Okay? So
wow.
now we have 17,000 codes. We don't have any one. And these codes are going to be given and be mastered over many, many lifetimes. It's not something that's going to happen over a lifetime.
So, in other
Um,
words, we have to really be in control of our emotional states, or mastering our emotions, so that we wouldn't do something that we probably wouldn't necessarily.
yes, it's beyond control. It's beyond control. It's not necessarily because when we apply the word control, we're saying that there is we're trying to do something against something else, or we're trying to put something so that other thing doesn't happen. It comes from an ego sense. And I'm glad you said that because control is not what we're looking for. We're looking for a state of being. We're looking for awareness that is higher than what it was before. We're looking for um, an evolutionary process of growth and maturity within us that basically sustains a type of awareness that doesn't have angry, or has it very it's there, we recognize it, but we're not allowing it to come into our purview.
Okay, so once again, I can see the importance of the responsibility that you're talking about. Now, I got the impression, and people have said that there's training along the way, and perhaps you're one of those teachers for that particular process, perhaps.
There's many teachers out there, and they each come with their own curriculum of spirituality. Yeah. Yes, I do teach the basics in my course. The course itself is designed for 9 weeks. There's about 44 classes in it. And what we do is we strip away first the layers of what is no longer serving us, and then start to learn from scratch, from the beginning. And through the process, you heal, you grow, you mature, and peace is greater than what it was before. Happiness, self-love, that's opening your heart. Huge. So
Why do people have their heart closed? I mean, that might sound like a stupid question, but
no, it's not stupid at all. No. It's a very valid and very precise question. The reason is it starts from lifetimes and lifetimes of experiences that we still carry with us. You can call it baggage, you can call it karma, you can call it whatever that may, the name of it doesn't really matter. What we do know and what we are carrying with us is the stuff that is still present within our mind, in our cells, in our DNA. DNA is always going to be there, but this experience imprint, the imprint of the experiences that we've had in past lifetimes and this lifetime, that actually preventing us from opening up. Primarily fear, anger, sorrow, resentment, shame, the basic feelings and emotions that the human nature.
I don't want to get hurt again, kind of,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, it's very natural.
Okay, here's a question for you. What do you see for us this year, the good and the bad?
I would say that everything's good. Okay.
Even if it's bad? You know what I mean.
Okay. This actually takes us to the beginning, the message I wanted to give that came from the wells. And I'll connect it. Thank you for the question. Okay. Everything is good. Because this year, let me use an analogy instead. If you are ready to renovate your room, it's time for you to put new paint and perhaps replace a wall, new drywall, and put new rugs or new carpet, whatever you want to do, right? So essentially what you're doing is you're stripping away the room. You're taking all the old stuff, throwing it away, and then you start to assemble it back. Now, during this process, there's a little let's call it a fairy. Okay, there's a fairy that lives in your house, and she has a little box that sits on the wall, and she sees all this, and she says, "Oh my God, the room is going crazy, and this is a mess. There's smell, there's noise. This is horrific. I'm not feeling good. I'm scared." She doesn't know what's going on. But what's the overview of the situation? You're getting a new room. You're getting a new room. So be at peace. Know that whatever is transpiring, whatever is happening is for our own good. It's going to be scary at times. There's some things going to be very challenging. Not one time around the planet, meaning let's say there's a power outage. It's not going to be all over the planet at one time. It could be just particular areas. Food shortages, possibly in different areas of the planet. Not possibly. It's going to happen different. It's already happening. Now, this takes us to the message. Okay. So every planet that goes through, that reaches a particular point, the point that we're in, and that is the point of ascension. Every planet that it reaches this point and is ready to go higher, to jump up, must have a particular energy in exponential growth, a spike in that particular energy. And that energy is compassion. Without compassion, we will not be able to step to the new earth. Not. Every planet has gone through it. The Pleiadians, the Arcturians, all our families, they're all gone through it. Now, some have gone through more horrific situations where they almost annihilate themselves.
Really?
Yeah. And we're kind of the same situation, but a different way. So how do we get to a spike in compassion on the planet? We have to have an event. And the
Isn't
event,
that what?
go ahead.
No, I brought up 9/11 is what came to mind.
So the event we're building for that event. In other words, we're already in it. We're already we're experiencing it already, with whatever they've done with this. I don't want to say the word.
Mm-hmm.
And the fear, and the horrific things they're doing with the children on the ground and everything else, that everything's going to come out and be shown and be exposed. We as humanity have the opportunity to step up, to take this and make it better, to bring ourselves together, to utilize this energy of compassion to have and create this new earth. Now think about this again. Every planet has to go through this spike in compassion. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Wow. That's big.
It is big.
This might. Okay. How do people become more compassionate? What moves them to that point?
You have to decide that you want to. It's your choice. Okay. We're on a planet of free choice. Everyone has their own choice. No one can tell you how to do it or what to do. You need to choose it for yourself. If you choose to be more compassionate, you become more compassionate. And that begins with a thought. It all begins with consciousness. Consciousness is king. So once you decide, your reality changes, shifts. And there are simple things you can do. It doesn't cost you money. It doesn't cost you anything. Compassion is free. It's the freest thing in the world, just like love.
And it really involves caring for another. It's part of the service to another in many ways.
Yeah.
Being able to stand in someone else's shoes, which is, I think, why we have so many different experiences to develop that understanding and become more compassionate as a result of it.
Yes. True. I agree with you. There's things we can do every day. You drive down the street, you walk down the street, you see someone, you just send them a hug, a virtual hug, like close your eyes for a second, and not while you're walking, yeah.
Not while you're driving.
Yeah,
we're having enough accidents as it is.
No,
excuse the way I said that.
But you know where I'm going with this. Basically, project your heart and send your love and compassion. It just a little prayer. That's it. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if it's a man, woman, child, homeless, not homeless, wealthy, not wealthy. It doesn't matter. Because it's not supposed to come from there. It comes in from unconditional. There's sometimes you drive and you stand in the light, you look to the side, you see somebody crying in the car. Send them a prayer. It's challenging times. You
Yes, I
know
really
that,
feel for what people
yeah.
are going through now. They're
To continue
losing.
with this, with the question, when things are going to be exposed to the general public, they're going to be livid. They're going to be very upset, and it's appropriate. What are they going to do with it?
Righteous anger.
Yeah, they're going to be angry, but then that's where everything has to shift. You don't go out there and destroy. You're going to have your tantrum. You're going to have your anger. You have to express it. The people will have to express their anger. There's no way around it. Just like you cannot hold it inside. It's a natural process for as a human. You got to go through this. But then there's going to be a point of time where they're going to have to say, okay, you know what? We've expressed our anger. Now what do? We got to put ourselves together. We got to build better this world. Build it into a way. I don't want to use the word build better because the other
Yeah,
guy.
I know. I'm going, please be careful though. It
Forget
was a
that.
catchy phrase, only it's on the wrong side of the fence.
To build and that's funny.
Create. How about create?
Create. To create the golden age, to bring it in. And that's the
Yes.
beginning. So whatever's going to take place this year is beginning of the end. First of all, it's the beginning of the end for them because they're going to be exposed completely this year.
Yeah, someone is saying this. There's still, and that's those of us that are more awake than others, so to speak. We are processed. We've already been through the anger. I think a
Not
lot
yet.
of it. When you
Not
hear
yet.
about the
Not
children
yet.
and so on,
Not
it's
yet.
like you.
No, yeah, it's not
Um,
yet. It's not yet because when it comes out, we touched this before. The collective does affect you, meaning the anger that's going to be around is going to affect us too. And
Oh, so okay. So regardless of the fact that we may have processed some anger ourselves because we found out about these things sooner, because this anger is going to move into the collective, we're going to feel it regardless.
we're going to feel it, but not in the way that they're feeling it. We're going to sense it,
Oh, okay.
just like we're sensing what's happening right now. A lot of souls are leaving. We can feel it. You can feel the sadness. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff happening we don't know about. I mean, we on Telegram you can see, this has happened to this one. This one left, exited, and I don't want there's keywords I don't want to use so that we don't get jumped out. But it's there. You can sense it. The sorrow, the pain, the agony, the suffering, and um, we're gonna have to change it. We're gonna have to
It's
take control, not control. We're gonna have to take responsibility.
I think it will move from the the anger to the compassion of, oh my God, how could we let this happen?
It's part of the process. Again, compassion. How do you get to an event? This is our particular event. This is our movie. This is humanity's event for our to be able to reach that pinnacle point of bringing in and um, hang on, there's a word I want to use here. Embodying compassion. We literally have to embody it, and we cannot just think about it. We have to embody it. We have to be it. It's like a ticket to the next level.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Can
yeah,
you?
you have to have a ticket right here on your shoulder. Color. I'm compassion, and then you move forward.
Okay. Can you? Well, how would you describe that? I mean, how am I compassion? What would I be exhibiting that would show that I'm compassionate?
Let's compare it to love.
Okay.
Yeah, we know what love is, right? I mean, most of us know what love is.
Mhm, mhm,
You have a love for your child, your partner, to your dog, your cat, your parents, your God.
mhm.
So a love is an energy that is present when you think about it and when you feel it. Now, there's things that will evoke you to feel love. Now, compassion, you're able to evoke it yourself because you are giving something to someone or something because your desires to be a of service. You could
Here
be of
somebody had,
service. You
yeah.
could be of service to a man, woman, child, an animal, a thing, an object, earth. And because you're doing something outside of you, it evokes a particular type of energy, that is compassion. Now, if you go to my website, you'll find a little tool. There's a compassion gauge tool. We talked about it last time. It
Yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah, we did. We
it
did.
measures your level of compassion by just clicking a button. So essentially, it detects your level of compassion at that moment when you press the button. Why? Because again, your body has a particular type of energy that it embodies while you are in a compassionate mode or state of compassion, and the system is able to detect it and then measure you from 0 to 10 how compassionate you are, and then it's there.
Is there I mean, is there a certain time that a person would be more compassionate than others? Like if you do it on one time, you might show a
Yes.
great deal of
Yeah.
compassion, and another time you might not.
Just
How
like
would
any
you?
other. Yeah, just like any other thing. Just like you feel angry, more or less angry today or yesterday or in the moment, in any particular moment, any given moment, you shift your state of being. Oh, you're always shifting your state of being.
Okay.
It can be
What
a
do you?
neutral too. There's a neutral state of being too, where you're just being present in the moment.
Okay. Someone had, wanted to, this is a bit more a comment than a question, and we'll move on to another question, but we had no idea we were being brainwashed against our will. Satan is the ruler of the invisible airwaves. People have no idea that they are being mind controlled. It's not their fault.
Sure.
Do you,
Yeah. In essence, it is not their fault. Not their fault. Remember, every soul that incarnated into the planet, they chose to come into this planet for a particular reason. You with me?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So I invite you to also have a look at the recent channel. It's called The Biblical Events and Earth Souls. It's on my website. And it's under the news tab. In it, they basically give an analogy of three-layered cake, and the whales speak about the types of souls. There's a three layers of three types of souls that have come into the planet or on the planet, and they
Right
each
now?
serve a purpose. Yeah, and they each serve a purpose. It doesn't mean that this one is more, this one is less. No, we're all equal. We all come from the same place. But there are some souls that they're brand new to Earth, and they've come in to just for a few seconds to experience Earth during this time, to experience this game of Earth, and at the same time serve a
Mm-hmm.
purpose, meaning leaving early. So there's no judgment. This is by design. This is by their choice. But from the preview of human self, the preview of the seeing eye of the human, the ones that don't know, the ones that are still young, they see it as a very negative thing because we see black and white. But in essence, it's not that way. From a
What do you,
soul's perspective, let's call it this way, from a soul's perspective, from God's perspective, there is no judgment, there's no wrong. Everything is appropriate because everything is by choice. It is your choice. You chose to be here. Both of
do
us
we,
chose this time to be on the video together and chat. We chose the title, we chose the conversation, we chose everything. And everybody who's just joined us is all about choice. Free choice is a catalyst of life. You have every minute you have a choice to do whatever you desire. It's what a concept. Wow.
yeah, really. Let's see. Let me see if I got any other questions I might have. What? I know we have to be very careful about this, but if we talk carefully, I don't think it'll be
You
a
want to bring it up
problem.
and I'll read it? I'll read it. Only read it.
Okay.
So let me get. What's this? Warning signs.
Great job. Never get that.
That's not a question. No, that's just a
Yeah,
comment.
no. Let's see. Does anyone have any more questions? Let me see. Oh, here's one. Who said we chose to be here? Where does that come from? I know I've heard these questions before. Like, and do we choose everything that happens to us? That's kind of hard to believe
Look,
as well.
It's a very, very deep question, and the simple answer is yes. Even if you don't like it.
Keep it simple, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Look, there's influences from the outside, but everything is so precise. Everything is so meticulously and divinely
Orchestrated.
um, is created on in any given second that there is no other way. It's been designed. There's no coincidence. And the reason is you. And who is you? You are the soul. What is the
Who's you?
soul? What is the soul? The soul is the extension of source, and you're not a part of it. So this is a part. I can take parts from it and replace it. You're not a part. You're an extension. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Extension
extension
is
of all that is.
yeah, exactly. You're everything. There's no separation here. It's everything connected to everything. You're connected to your worst enemy. I know you don't like it, but this is how it is.
Okay, somebody has a comment about that, so we'll elaborate on this comment a little bit. Okay, they said, "I am not trying to sound oppositional, but I think there's a tremendous amount of souls who have been trapped in the reincarnation cycle that is not by choice." What do you have to say about that?
Well, let's define first a reincarnation cycle. Eventually, they'll be able to get out of it, and even if it takes them 3 lifetimes, 5 lifetimes, 10 lifetimes, or 100 lifetimes, eventually they'll successfully end it, complete it, transition from it. Now, from your peer view, you see it as one small, tiny piece of time frame. You're saying, why are they stuck there? But there's a whole lot of going on beyond in past and future. Again, everything exists now. So from a source perspective, it's there to serve a purpose. The dark has a purpose too. The dark has a lesson. And so through the experiences of these souls who are reincarnating again and again in any particular situation, there is a reason for it. And they chose to be there. Okay? Now,
Was this something they chose to overcome in this lifetime, maybe, or
it could be,
chose to just?
yeah. It could be a process of healing, reversing something they've done.
Mhm.
You know, take the ones today that you see in your media, and you know that they're part of the bad people. Okay, take one of them. Now, what would this individual, this soul, have to do if they choose to? They can go back to source and dismantle this. What would they have to do to accomplish to come back again and be in service of the people, not against the people? It will take them a long, long journey, doing a lot of work on this planet or other planets to fix what they've done, to heal what they've done. Because think about this. We, meaning you, Gail, me, Eddie, and everybody here on the chat, and everybody who's going to watch this, all of us have experienced lifetimes that we were bad people. And
So we shouldn't be so judgmental. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry.
well, yeah, you can be judgmental. It's okay. But as far as from what you're seeing from, again, from this is from a soul's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game. And we're playing it.
The game of life.
Yeah. It's fun.
Um, well, it's more fun when things are going more in your way. But the challenges may be something that you wanted to be able to overcome that
Yeah.
you've had difficulty in the past. Um, let's see. I think we got a new message. Maybe. Sometimes you just got to shoot from the hip. Okay. Okay, let's see. This is a comment from the same person. I think they named Earth Terror because it is ruled by terror. Everything is a play on words here in Babylon.
Mhm.
Well, there's truth in that, I guess.
Yeah.
How, it was my understanding there should be some kind of balance in the dark and the light. Is we have way over here in the dark, and we're first starting to come back more and more light by shining the light on the dark. Is that true?
That is true. So that has to do with consciousness and has to do with this opportunity for us to step into a new paradigm in our reality. And the planet Earth is on that trajectory, and we have reached that point. And um, and this is the lifetime we've been waiting for, because this is the lifetime we can create more light on the planet, so that we're able to transmute the dark. And this is what's going on right now. It's you doing the work that you're doing. It's anybody here on the chat listening and watching this, that they're doing their own way, their own type of work to bring more light to the planet. And the work that they're doing is doing the work with themselves, healing themselves, stepping out of anger, healing the wounds of the past, whatever that may be. The painful stuff that you've gone through in your childhood is the catalyst to bringing in more light to the planet. How? Through healing yourself. That's the basic way that you can look at this game of life. We come in here with challenges, we overcome the challenges, and through overcoming it, we're bringing more light. We expand our vessel. We become more light beings. And the more we shine, the more we carry, the more light we carry is basically that light you're referring to. There's more light on the planet now than ever before. How do I
Okay.
know? We're able to see the dark. We're able to see those things that we could not see before. There's a new light.
It's.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, what happens is it's like all of a sudden you're saying to yourself, why didn't I see that before? I mean, seems so obvious to me now.
What is?
Little thing. Now, I'm just talking in general,
Hmm.
but different things that I've become aware of. I've asked myself at times, like, why didn't I see that? I should have signed that before, a long time ago, or something like that. But anyway, so conspiratory says, so the object of this game is to learn to become a better human, more service to others.
Yeah, and to yourself.
Absolutely. Okay.
Begins with self-love. Now, think about this. Why everybody's talking about self-love? What's the thing? We were created in the image of God. Okay, so the more we love ourselves, now this is not egotistical or when you say loving yourself, it's not loving out of ego or to be better than someone else. It's a love because you love yourself from a perspective of source. God loves you like a mother loves a child. There's no judgment. And the more we love ourselves, the more we love source. There again, we're an extension. If we love the very thing that created us, we're aligned with that energy. We're aligned with source. Yeah. The more you're aligned with source, the more you're balanced, the more your life will go easier. Your challenges are going to dissipate and go away. And there's more to it. There's so many gifts that comes with it that your life shifts completely to a whole other dimension. We're heading there. We're doing it right now, actually. Have you noticed how things are happening to you quicker?
Yes.
Quicker
I do.
Yeah. So you're aligned, and it's enough for you to just not. As soon as the thought comes to your mind, there you go. It happens. Your friend calls you. Hey, you just had a thought. You want to go have pizza? Boom, your friend calls you. Hey, let's go have pizza. as an example. Different
True.
things happen to you.
That's very true. That's very true. On the same page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, there's another thing that's been going on. I'll point it out. This is from the last channel, and they're talking about this. A lot of people are talking about the solar flare, and they finally addressed
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Um,
That's what somebody said they were going to put a shield over the sun because of the solar flare, which
possibly. So this is.
I don't
I'll
know.
just read it. I'll just read this out real quick. Beloved souls, you are on track and in time for the event, the one coming through the central sun and your own sun. Shifting dimensional density is no easy feat to reach. Your soul must be mature and equipped with the capacity to hold additional light frequencies coming in to generate the new vibrational reality of the graduate civilization. So essentially, what they're saying is we're ready for this, and there's something coming heading our way, which is going to ignite our sun. So the so-called solar flare is basically a reaction to the light that's coming in from outer space.
To hit our sun, you mean? And then our
Yeah.
sun's gonna
Yeah,
do its
no,
thing
it's not
because of
something
it.
that's going to cause problem. It's not something dangerous, so everything's good. It is
Oh, okay.
it is the way that we are going to be able to. Um, so we have to be ready with a heightened compassion level. That's one. When the light comes in, we're able to implement that light because we're at a higher level of compassion. It's like you what's a good analogy for this? You're basically ready. You're ready to eat. Ready to have your lunch. If you are going to be if you're planning to eat today, okay, and you're not hungry, you're not going to eat. You're not ready for it. But we're hungry enough to absorb this new light.
Is that like shocking some people into paying attention to what's really going on?
What do you mean? What in what sense?
In the sense of an event, or in the sense of some I hate to say catastrophic things, but
It's not
difficult
catastrophic.
things to see.
Again,
I don't want that word.
catastrophic is an idea
That's a
that
bad word.
human
Yeah.
created it. When you have an earthquake, it's not catastrophic because it's part of Earth. It's moving. Is there death going to happen? Yeah, it's part of the process. That particular soul had to leave at that moment. Okay. I mean, if there's something, an event happening, there's an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that you're not supposed to be sad. You're not supposed to be, don't feel for those who are hurt. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, okay, of course, be compassionate. Be compassionate, and then at the same time understanding why this is happening. This is a mature way of looking at things. Okay.
And it's safe to say that the event that's happening is happening for a reason.
Yes. We ask for this. We ask for this. We ask for this. What's happening right now? We ask for this. We wanted to evolve. We wanted to move to the new earth. We wanted to reach the golden age. To reach the golden age, you have to work. You have to go through some challenges. These are the challenges that we have to overcome. And the better we manage this, whatever's coming and what we're going through right now, the easier and faster we're going to go through this transition. And so far, we're doing a great job.
So people are coming around, so to speak.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Do you foresee that's very far? That anything is very far away? We're talking years.
Most of the things that we're talking about, except for the solar flare, I think the solar flare is either going to happen this year or next year. I'm not sure yet, because they didn't give me a time. It's God's timing. And but as far as what's taking place right now, if you look at the back channels, everybody's talking about. If you go to Nino, if you listen to SGOnon and other good guys out there. and other intel that you see is you can tell that things are heating up, and very soon things are going to pop.
Okay. Is this a restoration of Earth event?
Say it
Is the
again.
question. Well, the question is this a restoration of Earth event?
Yes, in a sense, yes, it's a restoration. I will call it a replenishment. Even Gaia is going through a replenishment process. We're going through a cooling phase. And this cooling phase that the Earth is going into is basically her way of replenishing the sustenance on the planet. If it's the ecosystem has to go through
Major.
a major cleansing process and rejuvenation process. Now because they manipulated the Earth, they've been playing around with the weather a lot. That cooling cycle started moving quicker than the scheduled time. So we're cooling sooner than what we expected.
And all they talked about was global warming.
That was a gyration. So there's before you move into that particular phase, there's gyrations of hot and cold and hot, and different ways. It just looks a little weird.
Yeah, how do we know the difference between when the weather's being manipulated and when it's real?
That's a tough
when
one.
It's actually Gaia.
That's a tough one. I you know what? I have a few people that I'm in touch with, and it's a challenge to figure it out.
Mary Jane G. Or Jean G. Such an amazing time to be alive. Grateful every day, and bless your food and drink. It is so important.
Amen.
And
I agree with you. Absolutely.
I couldn't. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for putting that or saying that.
You thank you for bringing this up. Is the food you eat and you drink? Again, the food has to be,
clean.
We can't have it completely clean at this point. Not yet.
No, but you can. It's good, better, best. That's the way I look at it. As a nutritionist, I've recommended to people that.
But was this Mary Jane? Thank you, Mary Jane. Thank you, because when you actually, again, as I said earlier, consciousness is king. And when you bless, you have an effect on the matter. Remember, telekinesis affects matter. So in essence, we do have an effect. When we bless water, and the whales keep saying, you have to learn your relationship to water, because water, you program the water. Bless the water. 2 seconds before you drink, give it a blessing. I love you. That's it.
What do you say? You just say, bless you, water? Or
I
actually
have a free video that I show this. It's called the anatomy of your soul. It's on my website. And in the beginning of the video, I do a little blessing there. So essentially, you hold a cup in your hands and you say a few words in gratitude, and then basically say water of life, water of joy, water of happiness, water of rejuvenation, water of bliss, anything you want to program the water with. And then you say water of Eddie and your name, your water of Gaia, and you drink it. You say thank you and you drink it.
Wow.
You want it holy water? That's holy water. You make it holy.
When you think about it too, look at how Dr. Emoto had
demonstrated. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Water.
Thank God. Thank him for doing this, because he demonstrated and he showed you that it exists. We have power over anything.
And we're probably at least 80% water. Mm-hmm. So when we think negative thoughts about ourselves, we're programming the water within our body in a negative manner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And back to the food, blessing it, I think is really important as well, because it's almost like you were saying. I mean, it's really almost impossible to eat totally clean. You can't find it. I mean, you can find some stuff that's organic here and there, but that even has problems sometimes.
Yeah. The best is growing yourself, but not everybody is able to, because of living conditions and
circumstances.
All.
Yeah.
But it's going to change. We're going to move into a better. Yeah, it's going to be all good. Give it some time. You have to be patient. Again, things are happening all over the world. A lot of people are stressed. Hey, when is this going to happen? You got to wait, because there's things that we don't know what we don't know, and there are some things that we have to wait for them to mature. And I invite people to be more conscious of the good things that they have. instead of complaining with what you don't have.
There you go.
And go through this process and easier because, hey, thank God that I have a bed that I can put my head over. Thank God that I have water, hot water that I can take a bath in the morning. You know, I have a place to eat. I have a little bit of food. I have whatever I have.
Exactly.
Because some don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thank Creator every day for having a roof over my head, food, and the basic needs that I need. I really do. So back to the thought of cleansing and rejuvenating ourselves is the way that we will, cleanse and rejuvenate the planet at the same time in many ways. And we can hold more light when we cleanse and try to do as much as we can to keep our intake of, food, water, air as best we can. There are some things that we can do to mitigate some of the toxic things. But anyway, okay, maybe somebody wants to make this comment here. Thank this water, bless this water, appreciate this water. I always thank Father for this water. Please bless it so it can nourish my body.
Beautiful.
I like to include Mother, Father just because I do. So I do realize that I have it better than 95% of others on this planet. I'm being grateful because of it. So, what else shall we cover? Is there anything else you wanted to bring up? Oh, I just got another question came up.
We're at almost 2 hours, an hour and a half. I think we covered a lot. I think
we covered a lot. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we're good.
Here's maybe one question.
Okay.
I think. Can we get the demonic entities to stop spraying black goo in the rain or fog? The water on our gardens is being sprayed with black goo. I don't know if that's black goo or graphene oxide. I don't know. We don't really. It would have to be analyzed to really know what it is.
Look, there's a lot of people who are saying what's going on with the chemtrails, with all that stuff, and why is it still going on? And this is, I think, in the same part of that question. And the simple answer to this: have patience.
Have patience.
It's
going to
going on
stop.
for so many years.
If
it's going to happen now, or 3 days from now, or a month from now, or a year from now, it's not going to make much of a difference. What's important is
true.
what is important right now is the work that they're doing to save the children. What is important right now is the safety of the planet. So that whatever weapons that the bad guys may still have does not go wrong. So, and then to give the opportunity for the good guys to clean out the swamp, to eradicate it.
Mm-hmm. I think what a lot of people are waiting for it is to have some of this made public because, we're aware of it. A lot of our listeners are aware of it, but there's a lot of people out there who are still asleep. It's changed substantially, but.
Oh yeah. It has changed a lot, tremendously. Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, people are making comments, but I don't see any new questions. So if you got any last questions, please put them up now. Because we've pretty much covered what we intended to cover.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's waiting for it to be on MSM. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's coming too. It's just not quite here yet.
We'll see how it unfolds. It's already happening. You can see it. The drip. Now the dam is about to buckle.
Yes. So, okay. On that note, Eddie, thank you so much for your time and your energy and the wonderful work you're doing. And I encourage you to go to his website and don't forget to take the push the compassion button and see where you're at. That's kind of fun. And we'll see you again soon.
I love you, Gail. Thank you very much for this. Appreciate it.
Thank you
Bye,
so
everyone.
much.
Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, fighting our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely